everybody, and welcome Parallaxers to another Parallax ASMR video. It's been a really long time since I've posted anything, and I'm sorry about that. I will explain everything and tell you about my plans for the future of this channel, which are good. And I'm just going to dive right into it. I have some triggers to share with you, some that you've seen before, if you're returning, and some that you haven't. So I looked today at my YouTube creator, YouTube Studio, I don't remember what it's called, app, and I think it said it's been 128 days since I last posted. And there have been a lot of things going on, which is why I took a break. The most serious of which is inconsistency with my job. So I don't know if I've shared this in the past, but I am a freelance writer. And I'm not going to get into specifics because I want this to be relaxing and not stressful. But I have had some issues. And aside from that, I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety and some depression, I guess. I've been seeing a psychologist for a couple of months now. I think it's been 8 months, so this actually goes back to before I took a break here. And it's actually longer than 8 months now that I think of it. And that has really been helping. But anyway, that's the reason for the long pause. I've just been dealing with a lot of stuff outside of this channel, and that is unfortunate, but I'm glad to be back. And for the future, things with work are still up in the air, unfortunately, but I was talking to my wife last night, who's been remarkably supportive throughout all of this and very helpful, and she's always looking to make sure that I'm doing okay and am happy and fulfilled. And she mentioned last night that I should look at this as kind of an opportunity rather than something negative, if I'm able to. Obviously, she's not saying just brush it off, but I'm gonna switch triggers. I have to get back into the groove of this because I haven't done it in so long. Next up, I have this butter. The last video I posted, I remember that I ramble a lot. So I'll get back to what I was just talking about in a second. The last video I posted was a kind of response video to the video that I was featured in from Ryanzy ASMR, which was such a cool opportunity, and I was honored to be a part of that. He does a lot of stuff with these, I don't know what you would call it, like squishy butter things. They're kind of like fidget toys, I guess, like sensory toys. And so that's it for that. I have this butter now. Anyway, like I was saying, my wife was saying that I should start doing ASMR again because I really enjoy doing it, and I feel like it's super helpful for me. It has been like a big part of my coping strategy, if you will, over the last few months. And I started this channel because I've gotten so much value from other ASMR creators over the years, going back to, I think, 2012-ish, maybe a little bit later than that, 2014, 2015, I've gotten so much value from other creators, and I wanted to give back to people, and provide that same level of comfort and distraction and I don't know, I guess like peace. I wanted to do that for other people, and so it's really fulfilling for that reason. And my wife knows that, and she said, why don't you get back to doing ASMR? You really enjoy doing that. And it could probably be like a coping mechanism for your anxiety, which it definitely is. It's just, it's like, I don't know, it's like a barrier to get over. Like, I want to do all these things, to try to, like, stay positive and connect to people and, like, find fulfillment even when things aren't going so well. And it's, like, hard to get myself to do it, which doesn't really make any sense, but I don't know, it is what it is. I'm going to switch triggers again. Next up I have this vacuum attachment. I've not used this, so I'm not touching like a filthy brush thing. This is actually for a pool vacuum. I have mentioned my dog on this channel before. He's had a slew of injuries. He's a Vizsla, which is a very high energy breed, and they're super active and kind of don't have any sense of self-preservation. So he's like always injuring himself running and jumping and being crazy. And we were taking him to physical therapy for a while, and he was doing hydrotherapy, which was really awesome. He loves swimming, and swimming is like no impact, and it's really good exercise for him. So we were taking him to this physical therapy place, and he was doing hydrotherapy. But we wanted something here, like at our house, so we bought like not an inflatable pool, but like a temporary one. You take it down at the end of the season, kind of as like a trial run, and if it's not crazy expensive, we might try to put one in next year, because we really enjoy it, and he absolutely loves it. But I got this like vacuum thing, and this came with it. I really do enjoy this, just rambling. It's honestly very therapeutic. I kind of can't believe that I took so much time off. I forgot how much I enjoyed this. So yeah, my wife mentioned, why don't you get back into ASMR? You really enjoyed that. It brought you, it was kind of like therapeutic for you, so here I am. I do my best to listen to my wife, because in matters concerning me, at least, she is usually right. It's so strange doing this again. It feels like, I don't know, it's like almost nostalgic, even though it's only been 4 months since I last recorded. And already it feels kind of nostalgic. Okay, I'm gonna switch triggers again. Next up, I have what used to be a fan favorite, and hopefully still is. This is a silicone container for food prep. My still do that, and it is an absolute game changer. You don't need fancy things like this, just like cooking in bulk, and getting like 3 or 4 meals out of a single cooking session, I guess you'd call it, is amazing. I also forgot, I haven't done this in so long, so I forgot that I need to periodically check to make sure everything's still recording. Because there have been many times where my camera will just, or like my memory card will fill up or something, or my laptop for some reason will stop recording. I'm sure I'll get back into the swing of things quickly. So, I was talking to my wife. My wife and I went for a walk after she got home from work today, and she said that I should talk to you about what's been going on in my life, and I was a little hesitant to do that at first because I don't want it to stress you out hearing about issues in my life. But she said instead of that, like instead of talking about my problems, I could kind of frame it as sharing my means of coping, which is really smart. Like I said, she's usually right. So a couple of things that I've been doing that might help you if you're in a similar boat dealing with unexpected life issues or feeling overwhelmed by things going on in the world or whatever it is. Number one is talk to your support system. Whoever that is, whether it's a family member, a spouse, a really close friend, a content creator online, or a therapist. It is helpful to have people around no matter what it is you're dealing with. People generally help. At least that's what I found. The second is, I guess this is kind of situational, but don't beat yourself up for things that are outside of your control, because I tend to do that, where I will blame myself for things that I had no control over. The only thing that you do have control over is what you do with what happens. So it may be difficult to come up with some kind of a solution, as it has been and still is for me, but that's the only thing you can do. So at the very least, try not to be so hard on yourself for the things that you can't control. Third is try to focus on the positives. So this is another thing that my wife had to kind of help me realize. I'm gonna change triggers, actually. This was one of my favorite triggers before my hiatus. These are incense sticks. You put them in like a little bottle of incense, and they not dissipate. I don't know if they send off the smell into the air. So one thing that my wife has helped me do is kind of refocus on my hobbies. When you have extra time, let's say. So if you're dealing with job issues, there's only so much you can do in a day to find new work. So the rest of the day you can kind of dedicate to self-care a little bit. And what that has meant for me is kind of exploring those passion projects that I've had going over the last few years, but have kind of put on the back burner when life gets in the way. that's a lot of what that means is fiction writing. I have always been into fiction writing, and I've been working on a couple of books over the last few years, some of which I've finished and have sent to literary agents, but those did not work out, which is not terribly surprising. It's a hyper-competitive industry, publishing. But I recently finished another manuscript that I was working on. It's a sci-fi book, and I think having creative pursuits like that really helps, even if it's not something that, like, I have grandiose goals, let's say, but I'm under no delusion that there are things that I can rely on, like, entirely. So I would not put all my eggs in the getting published and becoming like a successful full-time author basket. But you can, I don't know, things like that, like your hobbies and the things you enjoy doing, just don't lose sight of this, and if you can, focus some more time on them. Another thing that I have kind of put a lot of focus on these past few months is making a video game. I mentioned this very early on, that I was working on a video game with a friend, and again, this is not something that I think is going to be like an overnight success, and I can just swap to doing that full time. That's not the case. I certainly hope that. I would love to do something creative like that full time, but I'm not relying on that. This is just it's like a passion project, and if it happens to work out, then that's great. Okay, let's switch to the last trigger. The last trigger I have is this silicone bottle brush, which I think sounds very nice. So yeah, I've been working on this video game with a friend. Well, we had been working on it many months ago, and we realized that neither of us are good at art. So I write a lot, so I'm writing the story and the dialogue. I also have written music and played music my entire life, so I'm doing all of the music. He is a programmer, so he's doing all the coding. We realized that art is an enormous time sink. Not time sink, it's an enormous need for a video game, for most video games. So, and we don't have an artist, and we don't know an artist. We were originally working on if you know video game genres, a Metroidvania, which is a very difficult genre to start with, and it requires a ton of art, which was just not realistic for us. So instead of beating our heads against the wall and trying to make that happen, we decided, let's make a video game that requires almost no art. So what we decided on is a mostly text-based, or not, it's not really, I mean, it's text-based, but it's not all text. It's, there are some, like, crude images, or art, and I don't mean crude like nasty, I mean crude like, unrefined. So the game takes place in an old-school computer terminal, so you have mostly text, but there are also some, like, low-resolution, there is some low-resolution art, which we are finding we can do. And so, anyway, I got off on a tangent, as I so often do. The point is, if you are struggling with things, that is a good outlet. Something creative, some kind of passion project that you can put some of your focus in. Obviously, you probably shouldn't spend all of your time doing that, but it can be a good escape, especially if it's something creative, because it requires like a different part of your brain from whatever you likely do for work. So now that I've rambled for 22 minutes, I think I'm going to end it here. I do want to say thank you to everybody that reached out to me over the last few months to see if I was okay. It was really nice reading your comments. I did read them when you posted them weeks ago, in some cases, months ago in other cases. And I'm sorry that I didn't respond. I feel terrible. But I did respond to all of them today, and I got to read all of them again, and I just wanted to thank you. You guys have been amazing, and it's such a cool community to be a part of. And I hope that you welcome me back. I'm excited to be back, and my plan is to release, or publish, release is a weird word, publish or post, I guess, a video at least twice a week, but I'm probably going to try to do more than that, just because I really enjoy this, and I don't want to lose sight of how much I enjoy it again. So, I am back, and thank you all for your support, and thank you for bearing with me, and hopefully we can get right back to finding some relaxation and calmness and comfort again together. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Good night.